look under here and make sure there's no snakes or anything under there. Just a piece of insulation. I don't get in our pond nearly as often as I probably should. And you know, I'm not even sure why. I guess I kind of get caught up with all the other things that go around here on the homestead. But it's just so beautiful and so relaxing to get out here. I need to be much more intentional about taking some time and taking the boat out on the pond. Boat, did I hear boat? Every good captain needs a boat. Shivery timbers. I wonder if there's any gold in this here pond. And I bet you didn't know that the first gold was discovered in North Carolina. This dude found something like a 17-pound nugget. I wish I could find some of that. I doubt any of that's around here. Come to think of it, I haven't talked much on this channel about our pond. But one of the questions that we often get is, do you have fish in the pond? And we actually do have fish. I actually really don't like fishing. I think it's rather boring, but that's just me. I like to catch now. If there was some, maybe I need to get a net or something and start just catching some of them with some nets or something like that. Oh, and speaking of fishing, I don't know why, but spear fishing looks really neat to me. I don't know if I would continue to do it, but I at least would like to give it a shot. Right over here in this area, we usually have a pair of Canadian geese that come here. The female will get right there on the peninsula, lay her eggs, and then the male will just circle around her, protecting her while she sits on the eggs. And then it's so neat to see the goslings when they hatch, just swimming right there on the pond with mommy and daddy. And the little house that we have here beside the pond, well, my brother-in-law built that in high school, and it was probably like his party house or something like that. But for the past few years, the only party animals that have been in there have been, well, just one goat that we used to keep up in here overnight. There's actually a lot of fish in here. We've eaten a couple of them from them, but not nearly enough, and I'd like to work on this area, see what we can do to make it even more prolific with life. Some neat plants. This is why we got these plants here that we recently got from our friend John Zingarella, who has a business where he works with aquatic plants and fish. So we'll see what we can do to work on some things to make the pond an even better place here. Now, like in the corners in the shaded area, was that where we want maybe like some of the plants that have the deep roots to act as a nursery for the fish?
If you got it on the border of where you got shade and sun, the lilies may start at the shade area and then grow out towards the sun.
Okay.
So you'll have an area that, you know, will be protected from stuff coming this way. Any fish, big fish that are in the main part of the pond, you'll have like a separate pond. It'll almost separate the main big part of the pond from a small part.
Yeah.
You'll have like a hatch, like I said, like a hatchery. Young fish can stay on the other side or the shady side of that pond until they get big enough and they'll swim out into the main pond.
That makes a lot of sense. Alrighty, and these lilies here will just grow on top of the water. We'll throw them out there, little bombs. One of my favorite things to see on the pond is our ducks. We don't let all the ducks out on the pond at one time. We're trying to keep the pond healthy and the right balance. So we usually have a different rotation with each of our breeds that we allow on the pond each day. Here's a couple of our pecans right here, just hanging out. And one of the things that I love seeing the most is when they dive underwater. Pecans don't do it quite so much. Some of our Welsh Harlequin and khaki Campbells will. Hey, Micah.
also know that we have at least one snapping turtle in here. So, don't want to keep it around because sometimes that can be bad with our ducks. We've had problems with snapping turtles before. Caught one, removed it from here. I don't eat them, but somebody else did. And after my nice little cruise on the pond this morning, it was time to bring the boat back to shore.
Ready? Let's do this. Oh, wait. Row the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael, row the boat ashore. Hallelujah.
Oh man, I used to get so annoyed when we would sing that song in music class in school. Oh, that song. Rowing in a rowboat or canoe can actually be a good little workout. Think about some of those Olympic guys that are just, they go to town. I don't quite do that while I'm in there, but I can get going pretty good, make it fun, and get some exercise in at the same time. And since I don't spend a lot of time by the pond, I had to do a lot of cleaning up and weed eating before I could get my plants in the ground. Alright, I know I look a little strange. Yeah, I know. But let me explain. So, I was doing all the weed eating earlier, and I was noticing there's poison ivy. And someone told me that using bentonite clay on your skin can help as a preventative from poison ivy, as well as if you do happen to get poison ivy, it can help you with healing from it. So I was like, let me lather up with some bentonite clay. And after getting all lathered up, I've been hearing it. The kids have just been making fun of me. They're just like, you just look weird, Daddy.
Daddy used to watch this old wrestling show, and when he puts that clay on, he looks just like the wrestler Papa Shango. But sometimes he looks like the Ultimate Warrior.
So after weed eating, and more weed eating, and more weed eating, and more weed eating, I'm at a point where we can actually start planting in here now. I did have this one dead tree as I was weed eating in there. I feel like, I don't know how many weed eating word counts that is, but that's a lot of weed eating. I was like, let's see, I used to feel really tough, feel like you could just push over a dead tree, it just makes you feel tough. So I pushed it down, but it didn't quite go exactly where I wanted it to. Fell right in between those two trees, and we had to cut it up, get it out of here. But now we're ready to plant. Alrighty, so which plants do you want me to start with first?
I don't know. What do you want to start with first?
I don't know. But after working in this area, it's like, whoa, it's, after you cleaning everything up, it's like, whoa, this area's even bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So, should we do our ferns, or should we do our grass here, or irises?
Ferns would do really well because they have a really deep root system. They go down really deep, and they'll stop a lot of that water that's rushing down the hill.
Okay.
And kind of stop any dirt from washing stuff into the pond. And then you put other plants behind that, as far as like the irises and stuff like that. Even things like mondo grass.
Yeah.
There's a dwarf mondo grass that only stays
mondo grass,
3-4 inches tall, and you can plant that right around the edge before it gets into the pond. So you got the ferns, irises, maybe forget-me-nots, and then the mondo grass, and by the time it gets into the water, into the pond, it's clean water.
Damn, that sounds good. So I'm thinking let's start closest by the water with what we're going to plant there, and let's go from there. And the kids are going to bring us some mulch. They got the lawn tractor going. We're just going to mulch in here as well. Alright, let's roll with the touch-me-nots first. Yep, put it on there. There you go. Alright, we're going to plant it right here. Got some more. Bring the bucket over to you. You don't have to make so many trips. Use both hands.
And one more scoop. A little bit more scoop. Oh, it starts to come off.
Yeah, it's starting to run. My makeup's starting to run.
That giant plant.
There we go. Let's add some soil around there. Tease on just a little bit. All right, you're gonna have to not be so shy with it. Pour it in there.
What?
Yeah.
Can I with it?
Yeah, you are. But you can get it. You got it. All right, we'll come over here. When I first started homesteading, and my goal was just to grow food, I never would have thought that I'd be trying to plant all these type of other plants that aren't food for us. But my way of thinking has kind of changed a little bit as I've grown more, both physically around here as well as mentally. I see that every single plant, actually everything, has a purpose. I feel like God has created everything for a purpose. And even these plants, even though they're not plants for us to eat, there are benefits to the environment here, whether it's retaining soil here. There's so many benefits that we probably don't even know all the different benefits that there are to different plants. Never thought we'd be doing ferns. Hit the thorn root here. That's there. Don't you think? All right, fern man. I got my heart rate up. You get your heart rate up? Not really. You just relax over it. All right. Don't be shy again. Pick that bucket up. Pick it up and dump it over there. There you go. That's it. Good job. You're doing fantastic. All right, let's spread it around. Oop, over here. A number of you have asked me about how to properly lift something like logs or rocks. The key is to get your legs under you. Lift with your legs. Yeah? So squat with your legs. Too many people are like, and then they hurt your back. Just use those legs. Do that. This time of year, it's like with the canoe earlier. I'm looking under here with the rocks too to make sure there's no slithery surprises.
Oh no, that log's rolling.
Huh?
That log's rolling. Just stop, stop, stop. It's going. You were about to do a split right there.
High-risk maneuver. It feels good to look at the progress that we made today. Definitely still have a lot more to do. Definitely want to get some more plants in there, some more ferns, some grasses. Also plant some comfrey in there. But we're gonna have to do that another day. And I can't help but think of that crazy-eyed pirate singing Michael Rowed the Boat Ashore. Now that song is just gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
Row the boat ashore, hallelujah.
Well, hopefully it won't be stuck in yours. I'm gonna call it a day. We'll see you next time.